What's going on, guys? How you guys doing? Gurvinder, Tonka, Ricky, Dhruv, Ginger, Andrew, KB, what's going on? Overall, great week. You guys seen in the chat. I hope you guys caught some plays, made some money. There's very big volume this week, comparatively. We do have a doji on the weekly candle here on SPY. As you guys see here, we did take out the yearly lows and we did close at yearly lows, which is pretty bearish for now, especially with increased volume. Other than that, I mean, we banked all week. We had 100% of calls hit, 100% of puts hit. Like you guys seen it, we hit everything. Today was a bit of a slow day. It was whatever. I was playing small, like I said this morning. What's up, other Andrew? My week was pretty much done on Wednesday, so today was just a like fun day, I guess you could call it that. But basically on Monday we opened up at 414.48. Today we closed at 411.39. So a 3-point move in 5 days. This week, I know it seems like a lot more, but as you guys see here, Monday was an absolute ripper. Tuesday we also followed through upside. Then obviously Jay Powell took us to the moon on Wednesday. Thursday gave it all back, and today completely chop. Up, down, and we closed right where we opened, basically. So what does this mean for next week? It's very hard to say. Obviously, we have to see on Monday, but I would not call this a strong Friday. I would call it more weak than anything. Obviously, we're down 4% yesterday. We should have bounced a little bit more, in my opinion, if we were bullish. But let's see what happens next week. And the weekly is not giving too many signals either. It is a doji, but a doji on small volume, maybe we could have continued. A doji on high volume usually means reversal. So let's see if we get a bit of a bounce on Monday. I'm not sure. And we'll see what happens Monday. QQQ completely sideways as well. There's no reason to go over it. It was the exact same as SPY, as was XLF. They were both all just sideways, guys. We got a big dump this morning. Got all the bears sucked in thinking it's a downtrend day. I told you right in the morning it was going to be a chop day. Why did I say that? Because bonds and Bitcoin weren't cooperating. Bonds were dumping. Bitcoin was holding sideways. And a couple other things I seen like chips, AMD and NVIDIA were strong. Well, AMD was strong. NVIDIA took a SEC news this morning and took a little bit of a hit. But when chips are strong, it's very hard for me to short the market. UB was weak, so that was my leading indicator off the open that we would go down a little bit. But as you guys see here, it was just chop, all day chop. So if you hit some scalps, congratulations. If you held some swings, I mean, they're probably just ate your premium all day. That's all they did. IWM, same thing. A little bit weaker than the others. It did close a little bit lower. So if you were looking short, I think IWM was the one. VIX, obviously still above 30, still very strong. It was a down day. They were trying to kill the VIX, but they just couldn't kill it. Right now, it looks like it's forming a little cup and handle almost. So basically, what we're looking for on VIX next week, we got this little cup. Well, I'm sure you guys know what a cup and handle is by now, but like that's the cup, and then this is the handle here. And we'll see if we can go and break this 36.19 next week on VIX. If we do, should be more downside. If we reject it again, then we should rally for a little bit just to cool off some of these RSIs. As I said, Bitcoin was holding up all day. We did close above yesterday's low, which is a good thing, which is also an indicator. And you guys seen in the morning that I showed you, yesterday's low was this 35,571. This morning we went below it, but then the next 15-minute candle closed above it. So that wasn't enough conviction for me to say downtrend day like I did yesterday. UB actually closed below yesterday's lows, which is important. That is weak. And if Bitcoin starts following and closes below yesterday's lows on Monday, I think we can get more downside before a little relief rally. Tesla, we hit in, did we hit? Yeah, we hit Tesla $1,000 calls this morning. We got a big dump off the open. Like I said, there was a bunch of mixed signals. But since Bitcoin wasn't breaking, I took Tesla long here. And then right about when it was here, I had the $1,000 calls for May 13th. I bought them for $1.90. They were at about they were at 240 or something. The stock price on Tesla did not move. The calls went up 20%. The puts went down 20%. So right away, I knew Tesla was going to rip more. Jumped in another layer of 900s for the same day. Both layers went for over 100%. Sold most of them. Held a couple runners. Sold the rest of my 900s. I got stopped out. The thousands, I held a small position into next week. Let's see what happens. Other than that, I mean, it's pretty flat. We closed red on the day on Tesla. But let's see if we get a Tesla Monday. We did close above the cloud as well. So Tesla was done for within the first hour of the day. If we left, I mean, you made your profits. Day is done. Oxy, I screwed this one up twice. I'm not perfect. I told you guys I screwed this one up badly. So we had $61 calls right here, I think. and we got this little rip. I sold them for 40% or something, and then yesterday at close I took $65 calls for 2 weeks out. We opened, we dumped straight down. I got stopped out for I think negative 10% or something. Those calls ended up going in the money. Oxy closed at 65 today, so I got to get better at trading energy, I guess. Amazon, I tried to short it a bunch of times at the end of the day there. It just looked weaker than everything else. Everything else was bouncing. Amazon literally just canceled the cloud and then came right back down. Got a nice profit on the first one. Second one came up here to the cloud and stopped me out as soon as it closed this candle above, so not a big loss. Overall green on the Amazon trade as well. End of day started coming down again, but I don't really care. I'm not going to hold $2,000 puts over the weekend. They're going to get zapped on Monday. If Amazon does not gap down, those 2,000 puts would have got destroyed right on Monday morning. So I didn't want to hold those. AMD was the strength indicator this morning, telling me that we're not going to break down. We're not going to downtrend this morning. Just absolute ripper off the open. Held the EMA cloud all the way up. And that was my signal not to short all day like I did yesterday. But other than that, like you guys see here, this was SPY was straight down all the way to 955. AMD was basically all the way up till 955, I believe. Yeah, so 955 was right about here. So AMD led the market. You see this big green candle at 950 and 955 was follow through. SPY at 950 was going straight down and 955 was follow through to the low of the day, while AMD was already reversing for 10 minutes. That's a sign that the market's not going to dump. So that's what I was watching there. Z, now this is the play. I held pretty heavy puts over the weekend. I did notice a pattern here. So what I'm noticing on Z is all these names are shit. First of all, I'm going to say that right off the bat. What happened was earnings came out, shitty earnings, shitty comments. On earnings day, they held it up. What do I mean by held it up? Look, they closed it green basically from the open. Overall, it's red because we gapped down, but they closed it green today. They held it up even through all the big shenanigans on SPY, as you guys see here. Big dump, big rip, dump, rip, dump, rip. Z kind of just ripped in the morning and then went sideways and bull flagged all day. So this is exactly the same scenario. The day after earnings, they hold it up. CVNA, as you guys see here. The day after earnings, when was earnings? Oh, there it was. All right, so earnings right here. The day after earnings, we took puts, the $75 puts for $3. These puts ended up going to like 26 or 27. They held it up the day after earnings, and then the next day they started bringing it down and down and down and down and down, all the way down to $46. So that's one example. The second example is Etsy, which I played yesterday. They had shitty earnings, they gapped it down, then they kind of held it up all day while the rest of the market was dumping. Etsy was just slowly making lower highs, right? No lower lows, just lower highs. We held the low of the day all day. And then today, this morning, look what happened. Just complete carnage. It dumped like 10% in the first 15 or the first half an hour. It dumped 3, almost 6, almost 9% in the first 30 minutes. It dumped Etsy. Those puts went crazy. And that's the exact same play I'm looking for on Z. So they held it up today after shitty earnings. On Monday, I do expect it to collapse within the first 30 minutes, and let's see what happens on that. Other than that, I hope you guys had a great week. I know I had a great week. We crushed almost every single play. The few plays that went wrong, I already told you they were small. It was just playing. They weren't A+ setups. So I hope you guys made money. I hope you guys had fun this week, and I hope you guys have a good weekend.